Hi, this is Star of Artan for Mother Nature Network. I'm at the American Museum of Natural History, and I'm going to be speaking in a moment with Hazel Davies, who's the Director of Living Exhibits here at the museum. We are in a tropical paradise right now, inside the heart of the museum in New York City, and we're actually in a vivarium, and we're going to check out the butterflies that are flying around. Thanks for talking with us today, Hazel. I really appreciate your filling us in on all these beautiful butterflies. Can you tell us a little bit about the vivarium?
Sure, yeah, welcome. So here in the vivarium we have a garden planted, all live plants, and we showcase here a lot of different species of butterflies from all around the world. They're all tropical species, so when you come in to visit, you'll feel that it's quite warm and steamy, and that's just how the butterflies like it. That's what it's like where they're from. So you can see around about 70 to 80 different species at any one time, and there are about between 500 and 600 individual butterflies flying. So there's lots to see. You can see them lots of behavior when you're in here. You can see them feeding, like this owl that's having a little bit of orange juice here. You can see its proboscis is unrolled and it's drinking orange juice. And the owl is a forest species from Central and South America. And quite a few forest species like the owl and the blue morpho that you'll see here, they like to feed more on fruit than they do on the nectar from flowers. But you will see a lot of nectar feeding butterflies in here as well. So have a look around. There's one right here, this postman. This is also Central and South American, and it's actually drinking a little bit of nectar that's got on the outside of the feeder there. So all of our butterflies here come from farms. They are raised in the countries that they're found in, that they're native to. So the butterfly farms grow the native plants to the area, and they grow the butterflies there. The caterpillars eat the plants, and once the caterpillar has pupated and produced its chrysalis, that's when the farms ship them to places like us across the US and across the world. And we get the chrysalis or pupa stage here, and we wait for the butterflies to emerge. And then they fly here for their natural life in the vivarium. So we get shipments of pupa from farms. Every week we have at least one shipment. Several weeks we have more than one shipment. And you can see some of the pupa here in the vivarium when you visit. So you might even be lucky enough to see a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis and stretching out its wings for the first time in the vivarium. So we constantly have new butterflies every day coming in. And the butterflies, they fly together. It doesn't matter that we have so many different species from many different countries. They don't really have any way of harming each other, so they all get along. We only see sometimes a little bit of territorial activity between males of the same species, but other than that, they're all happily just flying around. They have plenty to eat, they have basking sites, so they just go about their natural butterfly business in here. So you get to see a lot of interesting things. And the fruit feeders and the nectar feeders. Predominantly. They are predominantly fruit feeders and nectar feeders, but they eat a whole variety of things that you wouldn't think about. They do what we call puddling on the floor. That's particularly important for male butterflies looking for salts that are dissolved in puddle water. So they'll do that. Some drink tree sap, some drink from dung and urine. They love sweat that we shall take from animals and from humans. So there's quite a variety, bird droppings, all kinds of things that they can get essential nutrients from. But for the most part, they're getting the energy from sugars in the fruit and the nectar. But you can put out nectar feeders like we have in here in your garden as well if you don't have a lot of blooming plants. But you have to watch for ants coming in. Other things will come and eat the sugar water as well. So you might attract things other than butterflies. And also they do drink water, plain water for hydration as well. So that's why you'll see the staff in here misting the leaves, and they're getting drinking water onto the leaves for them.
Can you tell us a little bit about why butterflies are important and how scientists understand the connection between butterflies and environmental health?
Absolutely. So butterflies are a little bit like the canary in the coal mine. They're quite easily affected by changes to their environment in several ways. So butterflies, the caterpillars are plant eaters. They rely on certain species of plants to be able to grow. And so we call those host plants. And different types of plants could be a host to different species. So, for example, the monarch butterfly can only eat milkweed as a caterpillar. So if host plants are lost from an environment, or an environment is lost altogether, that's very detrimental to the health of the butterflies in that area. That's a problem with intensive agriculture that tends to lose a lot of the native plants in an area, particularly when hedgerows are cleared and you get really large acres of farmland with no hedgerows and pesticides are sprayed to stop plants like milkweed growing, or in areas of urban development when native habitats are cleared, like dune environments. The Miami blue has became endangered because of clearing for condo development. So, so butterflies are affected by humans, by climate change. It does affect them going about their regular life. They lose essential habitat, basically.
And I know this is the 20th anniversary of this exhibit. Do you think that people know more about butterflies now than they did when this first started? And do you think there's more interest in people creating butterfly gardens and things like that?
I think there is. A lot of people come. A lot of our members obviously come back again and again, and a lot of people that come to visit do seem to become more environmentally aware. I think coming to see butterflies are great for insects in general because they're a really good ambassador insect. People generally like butterflies because they're pretty. So that's great for people to get to learn more about insects in general. Yes, people are interested in planting butterfly gardens and providing a habitat, particularly host plants for them to eat as caterpillars, and also to provide flowers as nectar sources for them. People are particularly interested in the monarch migration. We do get a lot of questions about that because I think people have become more aware of that, and they ask questions about where the monarchs are going and how the migration works and how climate change and particularly severe weather has affected the monarchs, and also use of pesticides have affected the monarchs. So people definitely have a lot of questions regarding that when they come here, which is great.
Great. Well, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about the vivarium here at the American Museum of Natural History. And we really appreciate your time spending with us today.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone, for joining me and Mother Nature Network at the American Museum of Natural History. I know we were just looking at the butterflies, but I figured I'd say goodbye from everybody's fave, the Dinosaur Hall. Here we go. Look how big it is. Ah! It's pretty phenomenal. Have a great weekend.